Alright, welcome back to the Norse Way. In today's video, I kind of want to take a little bit of time to sit there and talk about what led me to following the whole Norse pagan belief. And it's going to be a little bit of a long story. I'm going to kind of try to paraphrase and kind of condense everything. But there's a possibility that this turns into a bit of a long story, so I do apologize. So this is also kind of a little bit of a personal story, but it's a story that I want to get out there. I want to open up about because I feel it's important. You know, not only does it mean something to me, but it also kind of clears up for future reference. That way people are not sitting there being all like, well, you just got into this faith, you just got into this path because of the TV show Vikings. Even though it's a really good show, and I absolutely love it, it's really entertaining, that is not the reason as to why I follow this path. There is a much deeper, meaningful reason behind this. So let's quit randomly talking and actually jump into this story. So growing up as a kid, I kind of grew up in a Christian family. I mean, it wasn't hardcore to the point where we were going to church every Sunday, but they were still Christians. That's still the lifestyle I grew up in, where, you know, God exists and Jesus this and Jesus that. And I do apologize if I ever come off as being an ass about that stuff. I'm not purposely trying to. But yes, I grew up in that type of lifestyle, and I probably went to church maybe a handful of times, if that. But the few times I did go to church, I never felt that connection. I never felt at home. It just really didn't mean anything to me. It didn't click in my head that, oh my God, this is what I want to be. You know, I want to be a Christian the rest of my life, or Catholic, or whatever. Like, growing up, that was the least of my concerns. And I kind of went a majority of my childhood and early teenage years with that mindset that, like, I really didn't care about religion, you know. I love being outdoors, I love being out in nature and out in the woods and everything, but I didn't have the knowledge to actually sit there and have it click in my head that maybe there's more to it than just enjoying being outside. Maybe there's a deeper reason. And it wasn't until probably my senior year that I kind of hit a point in my life where I was like, you know, I really want to kind of find my place in life on a spiritual level. You know, I kept hearing things and reading things, and I was like, I kind of want to find my place. And I really didn't know as to which way to go. Like, yeah, my family was Christian, Catholic, but going to church, it never piqued my interest. It never connected to me. You know, going to church, going to Sunday school, any of that stuff, it never piqued my interest. So I had no idea as to what way to go. You know, I didn't have any other family members that were different religions, like Hindu or Judaism or anything like that. It was like strictly Christian Catholic. So I could never sit there and go to another family member and be like, hey, you know, I want to ask you some questions, because it was all the same stuff. So I was kind of on my own. So I ended up doing a good bit of research into different religions, you know, just getting on Google, just trying to find some bit of information to attempt to find my way, to attempt to find my direction in life. And I did find out that I absolutely love learning about different religions. I think it's really cool learning about the history and everything behind, like, Judaism and Catholic and Christian. And even though I did not feel a connection there, I still thought it was kind of cool learning about that. I like history, and there's a lot of history behind all the religions, honestly. So I spent my senior year just kind of doing a good bit of research, trying to get an understanding and a direction as to where I wanted to go on a spiritual level. And I ended up getting out of high school, spent a little bit of time at home, and then ended up moving down to Florida. Now, we're not going to dive into too much on the whole Florida end, because I hate Florida. It was absolutely miserable down there. I don't see as how anybody could live in that state. But while I was down in Florida, it kind of, I was still on my search for trying to find my path and find myself spiritually, and it kind of clicked in my head. It's like, I absolutely love being outdoors. I am so comfortable and at peace when I'm outside in nature, away from phones, away from cars and the noise pollution and everything. Like, I absolutely love being out in nature. And it just kind of clicked in my head. I was like, why not look at the nature-based faiths and religions? And I got to doing a bit of research into that type of into that type of religions and faiths and beliefs and everything, and there's a lot of them. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, there is a lot of nature-based beliefs from all over the world, and I got to looking at a few of them, and one of them really piqued my interest. It kind of just, like, caught my attention, and that's the whole Wicca belief system. I was like, let's kind of look into that one and, you know, see where that leads me, you know, see if I can feel that connection with that. And for the most part, like, I honestly felt that connection. Like, I felt like that might be a good spot for me on a spiritual level. And I ended up leaving Florida, thankfully. That state, absolutely terrible. Really don't see as how anybody can live there. Way too hot for me. Way too hot. Winter wasn't bad, but that's besides the point. I ended up leaving Florida, and I continued doing my research into the whole Wiccan belief and just kind of started educating myself in the practices and beliefs and everything, and picked up a few books, just kind of doing my readings and everything. And I was like, I feel the connection, but not 100%. So I continued doing my research and getting more information, and I ended up coming across the Norse pagan belief, the old gods, Odin, Thor, Loki, and all that stuff. I was like, that might be kind of cool, or at least cool to sit there and read about. So I was sitting there doing a little bit of reading into it on the internet and everything. I was like, you know, outside of the fact that it's really cool to kind of sit there and read up on the myths and legends and the whole Norse pagan belief and everything, like, I felt more of a connection. You know, the more I read into things and the more I looked into it, the more things made sense to me. The more the feelings I felt while I was out in nature, or during hunting season when I harvested a deer or something, or any of that, it really started to click in my head. It really started to make sense to me. And I was like, I think I may have found myself on a spiritual level. I think I might have actually discovered what path I want to take. And I just kept doing more reading and kind of learned that that's a lot of what this is. A lot of what the whole Norse pagan belief is a lot of reading and understanding and gaining the knowledge and everything. And, you know, fast forward a couple years, it kind of just stuck with me. Like, I could not shake the feeling. I could not get rid of or get it out of my head or go a different path. You know, it was implanted into my head. I felt that that was a proper direction that I needed to go, and I stuck with it. And over the last couple of years, recently, you know, there's been a few different signs that we're going to go into on a different video just because they're kind of important to me. But there was a few different signs that I personally witnessed that really showed me that I was on the right direction. And it just kept clicking in my head that it's like, this is who I am. This is what I'm meant to do. You know, I don't have a full understanding of the full belief, the myths, legends, all the gods. You know, that's stuff that I still need to learn and build my understanding and knowledge of. But I cannot bring myself to forget about this path, to forget about this belief, it is just imprinted in my head that this is the right path for me. And, you know, like I said, and I will never say otherwise, probably for the rest of my life, I don't have a full understanding of this faith. I don't know everything. I don't know every legend, every myth, every story. It's something I want to learn. It's something that I want to acquire on a knowledge level. But everything from my childhood to this point has made sense. It has clicked in my head and shown that there was an actual meaning behind these things. You know, as a kid growing up, going out hunting, to, you know, feeling at peace and comfortable out in nature. You know, it all started to make sense the moment I started to sit there and read up and educate myself on this stuff. And, you know, I've fallen short a couple times. Like, I'm not going to lie. I have fallen short on this path. I have turned my back, and I have paid the price. Like, I'm not going to lie. I have 100% paid the price of doing that. And I cannot bring myself to go a different path, go a different direction. I can't do it, you know. I've questioned things over the years, but at the end of the day, I keep coming back to this. I keep coming back to this belief, this lifestyle, this... I don't want to say religion, because it's not necessarily a religion. I kind of see it more as a belief, a faith. But I don't know. There's just so much that I'm learning and trying to understand. And I don't have a full picture yet. Hopefully in time I will have a full picture and a full understanding of it. But it's something I care about. It's something that I'm passionate about. And I just kind of want to continue to learn, continue to grow, and expand my knowledge of the gods and goddesses and stories and myths and everything. And hopefully at some point, you know, pass it down to my children and everything. But that's kind of just like a brief, summed up version of kind of my path into this. It's a personal path, and I feel that with a lot of people, they have their own personal, unique introductions into this faith, and that's perfectly fine. Like, from what I have understood on this religion, on this belief, is that nobody's experience is the same. Everybody's experience is different, and, you know, that's kind of another reason as to why I like this, is because there's no set path. There's no, you must do this, 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 and that every single day, or you're going to hell. You know, I kind of like the direction. I like the way this is ran, the way the whole Norse pagan belief is. You know, there's nothing set in stone. You know, honor the gods, honor your ancestors, and, you know, do what you can to be a good person. You know, that pretty much sums it up for the most part. But yeah, I'm going to quit talking, kind of go walk around a little more. If you want to throw your guys's, or if you want to throw your stories and experiences with getting into this faith in the comment section below, please feel free to do so. But other than that, hit the like button, hit the dislike button, hit the subscribe button. We need to grow this channel as well. But yes, that's all I have for this video, so I hope everybody has a wonderful day. If I hit the right